So welcome to my instructional video for passing bonus masters level 5. This next candy here, I used to think you had to give up bear to get it, but there's a slick little move there to grab it. This is maybe the hardest level on Candy Bear 2. Took me a long time to figure out how to pass it. One thing you'll notice there is you have to leave the platforms where you found them, because you need to go back over and over again, and if they're not where you left them, it's going to be hard to do it. So this is a perfect example. I'm sitting on top, and then now I can leave it because I know it'll go back to its original spot and it'll be there when I need it. So you're going to go all the way to the left and solve this puzzle, and then work your way back left to right, I think is the most efficient way to do this. And it gets you all your extra lives at the beginning. So getting down onto the layer below right here requires a slick little move, some digging off of the platform, off of the vertical platform, like that. And then you see those rabbits underneath. They're a bit of a problem. You want to get them all lined up together. Having them apart makes them hard. So if you dig just right here, you can get them paired up. Now on this run I actually didn't get them as good as I hoped. I think that one in front is a little too far in front, so I'm going to stay on the back two here till I get to the end. Now you need to time this just right, so you can dig a block here or two to mess up their pattern so that you can find a space for yourself to get down. So this took me a little longer on this run. But now I got it. And I lingered here just a minute so you could watch them get killed on the mine. So I don't get any of these candies on the right hand side of the screen, because that would mean that the platforms have further to travel up and down each time, which would then take you much longer to move from right to left as you go. So you try to leave those intact. And there again, I'm putting that one back. I got a little gun shy there. It's really easy to get squashed here. So now you've got all the bears, 18 of them, and you need a lot of bears on this one because it's so easy to die. Now, just like that, you'll see what I did there. Usually I can dig two of those bricks and go right through, and then the platform will bounce back to its original spot. But I missed the dig, and that got me in a tight pinch there. Same thing here, always put this one back where you found it. And we're slowly cleaning up those columns left to right. Here's what I mean. 1, 2. If you do that, that platform is always going to end up back where it started, which is what you want. See there? If you mess that up, you can clean it up, but it takes a little work. Whoops. Yeah, very easy to get squashed in those platforms. You'll notice by leaving those candies intact there, I only have one platform coming up that can squash me, whereas if I got those candies early, I'd have 3 that could be doing that. Now here, if you get real lucky, you slide into one of those top blocks like that. But it takes some fancy footwork to move around and not get squashed while you're trying to find that. Double dig, 1, 2. Got lucky there. That the leftmost column now, the leftmost one that still has candies in it, you want to leave that one for later because, now that was a mistake. I didn't mean to get those early because now it's going to take longer to get past that one. But that leftmost column, you want to leave it till the end because if that platform at the top of it is traversing a relatively short span, that's what's going to help you slip into the topmost blocks of the column. Once you've taken the candies out from underneath that guy, I think it's impossible actually to slip into the topmost blocks without it, or at least much more difficult. And so you want to leave him there, and then now you can get it. Once you've got everything to the left and right of it. Double dig. A little waste of time there. Slipped into the block. So now getting this guy back to his original starting point is more complicated. I found that if you stay on him, you're going to get thrown when that brick regrows. So you got to get off to the side, then do it just like that, and he'll end up back where he started. Now, this is some of the hardest stuff in the level right now. And I'm going to lose a few bears doing it, but that part I got. Double dig. Now you see I've got that back where it started from, which is valuable. I'm going to wait at the top of this column. He's going to end up immediately to my right, and then I'm going to do that same move to put him back so that he's there again when I need him. Now I did not mean to fall off there, so I'm going back to start that part again. Also did not mean to fall off there, but I'm still alive, so we'll take it. Here we go. Just letting the platforms line up so I don't get squashed. Now I can get on it. Dig one. And now those three in the middle there, they seem impossible. For a long time, I thought, how on earth can you ever get those candies? And that's the thing we're going to attempt next. Double dig. But you'll see that even once you know how to do it, it's very difficult. So I'm going to make an attempt here, but I'm going to die a few times before I get it right. So I'm just putting that guy back where he belongs, not knowing that my death is impending and it doesn't matter where he is. You got to drop off here and dig to your right, but I missed the dig and I got squashed. So we're going to try again. It's going to be important later. You see when I dug that one free, he started on the right. When I did that double dig, he ends up on the left. It's important to get familiar with how they end up settling after you dig in certain ways, because in that little section you're going to need all your platforms to line up where you want them. We'll get to that in a bit. Right now I'm going to try. There, I did manage to dig that one, but then I got squashed anyway, so slightly better than the last run, but I'm going to die a few more times before I get it right. Digging two there. Oh, and I slipped off. So since I slipped off, I'm going to try do some other work while I'm here. I'm at least going to get those. Normally that's work I would do later, but because I slipped, I did it now. And I can do the double dig and I'm back on track. All right, and I know I want to dig to my left when this thing is about a quarter of the way down there. Here we go. And same thing, I missed the dig on the way back up and got squashed at the top. That part takes a lot of practice to get good at. I am going to get it one of these times though. For me, it's definitely the hardest part of this level, and there's plenty of competition. There's a lot of hard spots on here, but what are we coming up on? Fourth time's the charm, fifth time's the charm. think this is the one where I get it right. It's a little sloppy, but I pull it off here. So the idea is you got to be digging from the platform. Once you get past that first level or two where you might get squashed, you're going to dig from the platform, get off, dig from the platform, and now what you really want to do is dig immediately here. And that time I got lucky. I got 3 bricks in a row that I managed to dig, and there you get those candies that look next to impossible. And now the 2 that are underneath that platform you just freed, they looked almost as impossible, but now they're just sitting there. You just gotta know how to put this guy back. Okay, I overshot that and fell down, but I'm okay. So now I do the move that puts this guy back where you want him, and then get those 2. And now we're off to the next puzzle, which is an easier version of the same problem. So you're gonna clear out those bricks at the top and then catch a ride on the platform going up. Dig off of the platform, get onto the wall, dig 2 as you get back on the platform, and that gives you enough time to go all the way down and back up again. I don't know what that potion is supposed to help you with, but there you are. That's the second of those puzzles. There's a third one that we're going to work on here next, but it has some preliminary work. So if you're going to do all this digging from the platform, you can't have a bunch of other platforms sitting in the next column that are going to gum up the works as soon as you free them. So you need to get them all over to the right hand side before you can do that work. Now here I don't know what I was doing. I got bricked up here before I could dig that last one. So we'll go back at that puzzle here and show you guys how to line up all the platforms in that sort of little set there. Get them all to the right. Now here you don't dig to your left, only dig right, because you don't want him potentially going to the left. So you dig that so that that guy ends up out of your way. You don't want him in your little set there. You want him off on his own. Now if you dig like that, that one I just dug should end up on the far right. And now those 2 are already on the right, so you leave them alone. Okay, that's just one more that's a problem. So let's go move him over. But in order to move him, we got to do the 2 above him. So now he's going to be fine, but the 2 above him are going to end up to the left now. You see the pattern emerging. But now we don't have to work all the way down. We just work on the ones that are not all the way to the right. Get that double dig down, and that guy goes back where he belongs. And now you should be okay. Now you can go attempt the third of those puzzles where you're digging from the platform. And this one, I got lucky. I did it about as good as you could ever hope to do it. You can still do it if you don't do it this well. You can do it in a sloppy way like you saw I did on the first one, where you dig one and then you try to dig another on your way back up again. But if you really get your timing just right and you Don't overshoot anything. You can do something like this. Start digging right there and get them all. Now, if you miss that last one, you can catch him on the way up and you're fine. So there, that one is done. Now, those two candies sitting at the bottom there are harder than they look. I didn't get them first because I like that platform to get up to me sooner, to get the timing for that dig I just did. But having that platform stuck in the middle there, that short horizontal one going back and forth, actually makes this harder than it needs to be. That time I was lucky, but it's very easy to get squashed if you can't get off that platform in time. So I was fortunate there. And now one more to go. You want to get the timing so you don't get squashed when these two, when the horizontal one you're on and the vertical one intersect. That's when you're likely to get yourself in trouble. And I didn't think I gave myself enough time there, so I bailed on it, and I'm going to try it again. Oh, and then I got stuck in the sides, so I'm going to try it again. There's a lot of moving parts there. I was lucky not to get pinched. Okay, now I didn't think I was gonna he was gonna get up in time to save me, and I was right. So you see that one little candy down there is harder than it looks, but here I think I've got it. And I was lucky I didn't land on the horizontal one, I just went right through. So now those are done. Now this part is relatively easy. But as I mentioned earlier, I didn't do it at the beginning because I didn't want all those platforms free. Either to squash me or because they just take longer and then you're going to lose more of your time bonus. Now when I was digging there on the bottom there, that's not important. I was just trying to line them up so they were closer to each other, but it didn't end up making any difference and I kind of gave up on it. I've done that when I accidentally get them earlier in the round. Sometimes it makes sense to do a little work to line them up. So they're easier to avoid if they all happen at once. That's why I was kind of had the habit of doing some of that digging down there, but it didn't matter for this run. So you can see this part's not so hard. These last two, they're a little tricky. Takes a little fancy footwork here. I took the gamble that I would be okay and have enough time. And then it just so happened that the horizontal platform was out of my way when I had to duck under, because one of the most frustrating things on this level is when a horizontal platform intersects with you and you can't move left or right. You get kind of stalled on it, and then you're going to get pinched a lot of the time. So I was kind of lucky that that didn't happen there. And now I've got all the candies, and I could run and get the door if I wanted. But there is one gold coin that I want, so I'm going to actually go through the sort of gamut again from right to left here, make my way all the way across to the left, and get that gold coin. This time I don't have to put him back, because I'm not coming back. Or if I am, it's because I died, in which case he'd be set back in his original spot anyways. So you don't have to do that rabbit trick again, but you do have to get in here again, and now it's a little bit harder because the platforms are traveling further, so you have less time to do the digs you need. So in fact, I just barely make it. If you watch, you'll see I almost get bricked up. So I managed to dig that on the way down, but when I get in here, it's almost regrown, and I get on that on the first pass, and the thing just catches my tail on my way out. But from here, it's easy. You don't even have to get on that platform. You just dig, and then grab your coin and your door, and there it is. That's how to beat bonus master level 5.